Hello and welcome to OurTime. Choirs have become amazingly popular in recent times, and particularly community groups for both sexes, both mixed and or just male or female groups. Now, how do they happen and who instigates them? My guest is Greg John, who's done just that with the Big Sing McLaren Vale, but also with so many other entertainment instigations. And Greg's with us right now. Greg, hello.
Hello, Malcolm.
I've always remembered your name, Greg, because you've got two first names as your name, and I'm sure that's been said to you so many times before. Do I call you Greg or do I call you John?
That's right. People who've known me forever make the same mistake. When they do it 3 times in a row, I remind them.
Yes, okay. Well, I know that your surname is John because my middle name is John, so it's easy to remember. Greg, we've known each other for quite a long time. I think since you were quite young. And
About 50 years ago, yes.
Yes, how frightening. But one of your instigations, if that's the correct way to put it, is this choir that you're putting together. Just explain what you're looking for, because this is a really important thing. When people think, I still want to sing, I still want to be part of a group, that joy of standing amongst a group of singers and that vibration that you get is so... it just sets you on fire. I'm trying to find an expression.
Does. And particularly when you do it with a full symphony orchestra.
Oh, even better, yes. So explain what this special initiative is.
Well, it came about because, over my life I've experienced with choirs, big choirs, and being with a symphony orchestra, being in the opera chorus and singing with I thought, what a thrill that is.
Yep.
And most people don't get a chance to do that.
Yep. Or experience that joy.
Yeah. And back in, let me tell you this little bit of history. Back in, it finished in about 2012, there was something called Mount Barker Sings Messiah.
Right.
Barry Wilkins, who was a keen person like myself, who instigated this, got a huge orchestra together, hundreds of singers, got the governor to come. The sort of thing where you rock up in the morning, have a rehearsal, pay for lunch and put it on the afternoon.
Right.
Now that stopped in 2012.
Right.
Some years later, after doing carols and things very similar, I thought, there are people who still want to do this.
Of course.
So I called together my carols committee again and said, let's start Big Sing McLaren Vale. That was 2017.
And that's because you come from McLaren Vale?
That's right. I was teaching at Tattertilla Lutheran College for 21 years as Performing Arts Coordinator. And this has sort of grown out of that and other schools.
And the fact that you still love to sing.
Oh, yeah.
And you're an organiser and you can put all of this together and say, well, you sing that, you sing that, you sing that.
And what the way it's worked out is that I approach an orchestra. Now, sometimes it's like the university orchestra, sometimes it's a scratch orchestra. That means we just ask people to come. Mm-hmm. Norwood Symphony Orchestra we've used, the Adelaide Youth Orchestra. We played a professional orchestra last year.
But mainly they're just people that want to do it.
Yes.
They love the community buzz.
But the way that it works, to do a big work like, say, a Verdi Requiem or a Mozart Requiem or Fauré Requiem, which is what we've done in the past. This year's different, by the way. You need to know that there's going to be a sizable bunch that'll make it happen. So we get an established choir to commit. Then the call goes out to anybody else who wants to learn it. We supply learning tracks and scores. They pay to be in it. That's how we run it. Yep. And all come together on a weekend and practice and then perform to an audience. This year, it's not going to be classical. It's going to be Broadway musicals.
Oh, very popular at the moment.
I know. We thought of this 18 months ago, and since then everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it, yep.
But it's going to have the Norwood Symphony Orchestra, full symphony orchestra with rhythm section. And we start from Rodgers and Hammerstein, Carousel, Sound of Music, right through. And there's a children's choir as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Do, Re, Mi.
Yep.
We've got Jekyll and Hyde. We've got a whole segment, 20 minutes of Les Miserables. And in the second half, we move through more modern things like Rent, Matilda, and Stephen Sondheim.
Difficult to sing songs from Matilda.
I know, we've got
all over
a
the
very good
place.
little soloist.
Fantastic.
And our children's choir is doing a wonderful job.
So if people are interested in being part of this, they can be.
Yes.
This is the good news.
Yes. If you go
You don't have to live in that area either.
No, we get sometimes people from interstate come to see this.
But I think what you've just articulated there is you get sent what you have to learn.
That's right.
And that means you don't have to go to all those rehearsals.
But so many people would prefer to go to a group and learn.
Sure.
So what's happened in recent years is that a number of smaller choirs say, yeah, we'll be in this.
Right.
Because it's something they would never get to do.
Exactly.
And so we ask them to open up their rehearsals. And people pay a little bit to go to their rehearsals. The choirs win because they get new customers who join their choirs.
Yeah.
We get more people who've learnt the stuff.
Well, people can actually find out that the choirs exist in the
Absolutely.
first place. Because I guess that's the hard thing. Like, it's knowing where to start, isn't it? If you've had this passion all your life, or you used to be in a choir, or used to sing with a band or whatever, and you really miss that camaraderie as well.
Absolutely. And there are a whole lot of people at sort of my vintage who, when they were younger at university, got the chance to do this with the big intervarsity choral societies, and have never done it since.
Well, speaking of that with you, how old were you when you first started singing?
Oh.
Well, apart from when you were born.
Oh, I remember when I was quite young, my brother calling out when we were sleeping in the same room, "Mum, Greg won't stop singing." But yes, through primary school, high school.
So just describe for you, what's the sensation of singing for you? What does it make you feel like?
Oh, well, it's quite invigorating because you have to be using your whole body.
Yep.
But the great thing about
You
singing...
oxygenate yourself because you've got to breathe well. So your blood's really...
But the great thing about all music, but particularly singing, is you're not only engaging the whole physicality, your mental capacities, your emotions, your spirituality, everything comes into it, like your whole being.
Yeah.
It's very scary to be up there, just you. But in a choir, nobody will notice your wrong notes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning, that there's a vibration that comes around
That's right.
you, isn't it? It's so inspiring. That was the word I was looking for before.
That's the word, inspiring. It is.
It really is.
It is.
And it creates a memory that not many other things can give you as an ensemble of people.
That's right.
Okay, so you were crying as you were born, which was singing at the time, of course. Your brother said, "Greg won't stop singing." What happened next?
Well, throughout high school, the music wasn't a subject.
No, not when we were young.
No. In fact, I never studied music seriously, apart from some piano lessons, until I was 40 years old.
Oh, really?
No.
How handy that you had piano lessons.
It was.
Because really the piano is a great instrument for voice, because all the notes are there.
Absolutely.
You don't have to find them, they're right in front of you.
Yes, and then after high school, even though I won the prize in mathematics and chemistry, I went on to do a Bachelor of Arts and became a school teacher, where you can just about do anything. And that was the great thing about being a school teacher, particularly back then. I had inspirational school teachers who were doing all these things outside the curriculum, the things that they had a passion about, and the kids could join in and share their passion. They are the things that last. Nobody ever remembers my maths lessons, but they all remember the musicals we put on.
Exactly. That's so true and so valuable. I think a lot of schools are starting to come back to that now, back to putting on the Disney shows or whatever that have been written especially for schools to do. But and hopefully that will encourage a whole new breed of kids that will come into our industry as well.
Oh yes, once they get the bug. In fact, on this, why they get the bug, in the first years at Tatachilla Lutheran College, which was 95 to 2000, where we had nothing but an empty paddock really and a few classrooms, but we did wonderful things with this group of kids. And Mark Delane, who's conducting our big sing coming up with them, has gone on to be...
He's a very accomplished conductor.
Very accomplished, one of the best amateur musical theatre conductors in Adelaide. He is now, believe it or not, head of creative arts at a school.
Right.
And
so it's going back to almost what it should have been, but you were doing that as a passion before.
Yes.
Now it's...
And he's in the wonderful situation where he gets to do similar things.
Yeah. How fantastic.
And that's very gratifying.
So we're going to come back in a tick and we're going to show you some of the accomplishments Greg has made in his life, which is extraordinary, to be honest. Lots of photos, and just remember, if you're really interested in singing, we'll put the information up on the screen for you as to how to get in contact. And make sure that if you love to sing, you get out and actually sing. And we'll be back after these few messages with a lot more information with Greg John. And we're back with our special guest, Greg John. Greg, we've got a whole lot of photos here of the many things you've done with the groups, but you've actually had quite a strong career yourself.
Well, apart from my teaching career, yes, been in quite a few stage musicals, often in the chorus, a few roles. Short roles don't come very often, but Tevye in Fiddler of the Roof was my wonderful one that I always remember.
Oh, fantastic. Because so in our lives, there are certain roles that we do remember because we really identified with the character usually, or they were just fun to play.
It was. And one of the best musicals too.
Well, quite.
Absolutely.
So the groups that we're going to have a look at, we're looking first of all at your version of the Mickey Mouse Club.
Are we? Well, that'll be good.
Yes. So let's sit back and have a look.
This happened, way back. Yes, way back, many years ago, I got a request at Tatachilla College. Could we put on a show at a local campsite for a Girl Guide camp, which was specifically for disabled girls?
Right.
And of course I said yes.
Of course.
And we'd just done Zeusical.
And you were old enough to remember what the Mickey Mouse Club skivvies and ears looked like.
Well, I ordered immediately tapes from the original, and we got costumed up by a lovely costume lady and names on the front, the works.
Fantastic.
And
of course you're there.
We used many, sort of like a young talent time, because I had students from year 3 up to year 12 in this. And where I got them, of course, was from the stage musical, Zeusical, that we'd just done.
Right, of course.
And only 20 of them, because that's all that fitted in the bus. But we had a great time. And that show went on, we performed it many, many times that year. In fact, during the school holidays, we did it 3 or 4 times. I don't know, somewhere in a house, the lady put on shows for disadvantaged children. We ended up performing to disadvantaged children, mothers with small babies another day, and intellectually disabled adults on another day. And they did a wonderful job.
Of course, anyone that was old enough would remember the Mickey Mouse Club. Here's another shot with you.
Oh, this was the Hans Christian Andersen with my junior troupe.
Ah. So this was played in school as well?
Oh, yeah, and we went out to other schools and old folks' homes. We're not allowed to call them these days,
No.
Retirement villages.
Yes, retirement villages.
Aged care facilities. This was one of them, where we combined our young choir with the older adult choir at the retirement village to perform for an Every Generations event.
Right.
Some years ago.
And that's every generation.
This one's every generation. This was 3 generations. Grandma and grandpa, 2 of their kids and a wife and their children and 3 generations. All in Oliver.
Oh, in Oliver, okay. How brilliant.
Because I've always tried to, in our shows, include staff, students and parents, if possible.
So this was another one of the community carols?
This was the not Tatachilla Community Carols, it was actually McLaren Vale Community Carols.
But with the Tatachilla Community Orchestra. I know that because it says it at the bottom.
It does. Yes, and this was a combined choir. These ladies, who are now called the Sisters of Abundance, is a choir. We started in 2005 because I called to when we did Sound of Music, the young voices were not really rich enough for the nuns. So we put out a call to mums and dads and aunties, not dads, mums and aunties and the occasional person off the street to be nuns. And they had such a wonderful time. You know, this is mums who'd never done anything like this and they scared come along. And they did a wonderful job. And later we formed them into a choir and they're still going after all these years.
Well, I can see you in the red shirt.
This is,
looks like a dreaded recorder in your hand.
It was. This was a request from the University of the Third Age saying, we're putting on a medieval feast. Do you have a madrigal group? To which, of course, I said, no, but we'll make one.
Yes.
And there's Look, as a result of all this, the ABC Classic FM and Music Council of Australia had awards every year for outstanding music programs.
Right.
This particular year, the criteria was community involvement. Well, we could tick every box.
You certainly can.
And
with all the things that you've done, absolutely.
And wonderfully, this is the all those lovely nuns there,
Yes.
right down to the little kids in the front. And I love this photo. You can just see the joy on their faces.
And isn't that the truth, though, with these community shows? That's what they're really all about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's just to show the standard of, look at that scenery.
Yes, it's a great set.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did you paint that too?
No, that was projections.
Oh, okay.
This is our community orchestra that we put together for the carols, just to show some of the age range.
Right, you shaved your head to play the violin.
And this is what I call the brothers and the sisters. We're the sisters of abundance and the brothers, I won't tell you what I called them.
Okay.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay. And you're in the front there conducting.
Yes, and with bagpipes. We had ballet groups coming in, all sorts.
These shots actually show the breadth of the community involvement that you've had, and how valuable it's been to so many people. I love seeing, younger people there playing violins and saxophones and whatever else is there, flutes.
And this is the Big Sing. This was an exceptional Big Sing a couple of years ago.
But this is what you're planning again, isn't
Yes.
it? This is another version
But
of
what's
this.
interesting about this one is that the orchestra is made up of high school students
Right.
from Brighton High School and Marriotteville High School, with a few old scholars. They did a stunning job. And the choir, again, is students from those two schools, plus the university choir, plus all these other adults who joined in as well. And that was a magnificent success. This is last year. Graham Abbott's conducting this. Haydn's The Creation. That gives you an idea of the sort of size of the choirs that come along.
Huge.
And the orchestras.
Where was the venue for that?
That is in Tatachilla Lutheran College Gymnasium. It's the
of course.
only place big enough.
There you go.
And Tatachilla fortunately supports us. This was last year. State Opera had heard of us and said, look, we want to put on a concert version of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Sorcerer. Could I organise a choir? Which, of course, we did. So that's a choir, a Big Sing choir. That's me.
I know.
I'm the one with the beard.
And I was about to say, which one are you? It's amazing, Greg, when you look at that body of work, and you're still, of course, working, you're still doing things. It's just amazing that you've achieved so much.
It is. When I look back, it was quite
I hope
amazing.
you're writing the book.
No, I just have photos.
I say this to everybody, but who will know in the future what you can achieve if we don't leave memories that we've achieved for them to work from? Because, sometimes these things appear to be so difficult to organise, because when you're trying to get a whole group of people together to do anything, we can't even drive in a straight line, so, it's difficult to organise everyone. But the joy that they get out of it is just so brilliant.
Is. Look, and the joy that people are going to get on May the 12th, which is Mother's Day, as a matter of fact, is when we're putting on the Big Sing on Broadway.
The Big Sing, right.
By the way, people just need to Google Big Sing McLaren Vale.
Right.
And it will come up. And all the information's there, everything that you need.
So you've retired now from teaching, haven't you?
Well, when I left Tatachilla, I said, I'm not retiring, I'm just not getting paid.
Okay. Actually, isn't that the best way to think? I couldn't agree with you more, because we have to keep living our lives. And if we've loved what we did, the old story about if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's right.
And in a way, this is the extension, isn't it?
And you're right. So many people who've had a full working life and gained so much skill and experience should be able to use it in their 20, 30 years that are left.
Yeah, exactly.
You won't find me sitting around playing golf.
No, but even more so in the 20 or 30 years that are left, it probably may push that to 30 or 40 years that are left in actual fact. Yeah, I think it's so important to continue doing whatever you love. Mind you, if you love playing golf, play golf. If you love 10-pin bowling, keep bowling. But we've been lucky to have worked within an industry that gives you a great deal of joy, whether it's alone or working with a group.
Yeah, and that joy comes after sometimes a lot of pain, doesn't it?
Well,
I've always compared it to having a child, though I never have been pregnant, is that you look
Well,
forward
it's
with
been fascinating,
you look
hasn't
forward
it?
with joy.
We would be having a different interview
And
completely.
there are times when you wish it would all go away and it's not
Yes.
very comfortable.
Often
but
the
when
night
it's
before that it all happens.
and when it's there, you think, let's do it again.
Yes, exactly. It's like having a baby. Once the show is over,
Yeah.
that's exactly what you think. But the night before, it's quite the opposite.
I
Why
know.
did I do this?
I know.
I get that. Now, we've got a very special closing to show you
Oh,
of something that John has produced.
Greg.
You see, I'm looking at the auto cue in front of us here, and John is sitting right in the middle of the screen. Bear me out. You can see that. Yep. So I can see John, so I called him John when I know he's Greg. Do I know anything? Oh, yes, we'll be back in a tick. Greg John has been our special guest, and he's prepared something that he did in the past for us to end the show. Do you remember, if you're old enough, the Mickey Mouse Club? I used to watch that when I was young. There was a very special song that they sang at the end of every episode. And here's Greg's version of that song.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. And I sing,
See you real soon.
K-E-Y,
Why? Because we like you.
I think every child in Australia probably knew that song right in the very, very early days of TV. And I think we all sang along with that every time we watched the Mickey Mouse Club. What a lovely way to end this interview with you, Craig. What possessed you to do that?
that ending?
Yeah.
Well, I was looking back through all my old photos, of course, and bits of videos, and remembering the lovely time I had with this Mickey Mouse thing. And I watched this, we were performing at a bowls club.
Right.
And I saw the ending and I thought, that would make a good ending.
Yes.
And it's got my lovely grey ears.
I noticed the grey ears, yes. How long have you been grey?
Oh, centuries.
Centuries. Well, you reminded me that many years ago you were still just a boy, I think. And I was at the Old Kings Music Hall then, and we did a show of all places. I think it was Whyalla?
Port Lincoln, I
Or
think.
Port Lincoln, was it? And we were short somebody, and somehow or other somebody knew you, and you came and filled in the place of whoever was missing. It's been all those years.
It is.
What a pleasure to know that you've been operating all those years, doing all those wonderful community things. One last plug, you're looking for people who want to sing.
Yes.
If they want to find out where to go to find out how to be part of all this, the address is there on the screen. Just check it up on the internet. Good luck with it all. How many people are you looking for, just by the way?
Well, we anticipate a choir of about 200, a very large children's choir, and an orchestra of about 80.
It'll be a fantastic.
It's
How many?
huge.
Just one night? All for
Just one afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 12th of May.
Fantastic. It's May. Well, thank you very much, Greg. And until next time on Our Time, I hope you've enjoyed meeting Greg and the encouragement of being a singer. Anytime you want to sing, let it fly. And we'll see you next time. So keep yourself nice till then. Bye.